how your higher self is manifesting for you today on Awakening with Amy. Hi, welcome. I'm Amy Valentine. I'm a certified life coach hoping to awaken within you a mindset that you can be, do, and have any desire. And today we're going to talk about how the connection with our higher self and the physical self, the physical world, is a powerful way to manifest all your desires. So just get ready. We're going to uncover your true power. And once you uncover your true power, there's no looking back. So we're talking about is changing our perspective, looking at our life differently, going within. What we see with our inner eye will soon be seen in the outer world. That's what Florence Scovel said. As within, so without. And when we awaken to this power, we start to realize that everything that is manifested, physically manifested, seen with our five senses, was once just an unseen world, reality within ourselves, our consciousness. That's what Neville Goddard says. Consciousness is the first cause. And what is consciousness other than your awareness of being? And the law of assumption that Neville talks about is really the law of being, the beingness, So the higher you, that is the part of you, the unseen part of you that is connected to the God mind, the superconscious mind, right? That non-physical you is literally guiding you constantly. It only knows the now moment. It's always guiding you right now. It knows nothing of linear time. It doesn't understand the past, doesn't understand the future. It's only ever now and expanding. It's infinite love and infinite power, and it's only now, and it keeps expanding more and more and more. So when you tap into that using your intuition, that's what Florence Scovel says. Our intuition is our connection to that higher you, which is connected to source energy. The Holy Spirit, the God mind, the superconscious, whatever you want to call it. It's all one mind anyway. The superconscious, the subconscious, and the conscious mind are one mind. But I like to say they have different roles. They have different jobs. And what is the job of the conscious mind? It's to impress the subconscious mind. This is all happening automatically. You don't need to try to impress anything because the subconscious mind is just power without discernment. It has no direction. It's being directed by your consciousness. And when you're unaware of that, now you're not tapped into your true power. And how do we not know this? Well, we come into a physical body with amnesia to awaken this within us, to let that higher you, that unseen you, manifest through you as you, to have a physical experience, to know yourself as one with that God mind. And that's how we do it. So the seen world, right? The outside world of appearances is an illusion. It's the fog, right? We think it's so solid and real. This is one of the reasons that keeps us from our intuition, from that higher self, from allowing our higher self to guide us, is that we believe so much in the solidity of the physical world. It is not solid. It's always changing. Energy has to move. That is the law of the universe. That's the Lord in scripture, right? The Lord means the law of being. Nikola Tesla said, in order to understand the mysteries of the universe, you have to think in terms of energy, vibration, and frequency. And that's the unseen you, the higher you that wants to manifest everything for you. So one of the ways we block that, like I just said, is that we believe in the solidity of the changing physical reality or of the solidity of our thoughts and feelings. We think, oh, there's patterns, or that the past creates the future. So then you get caught up believing I have to delve into my past and fix myself so I don't recreate it in the future. When the truth is, every time you look back, you're seeing through your consciousness right now. You're recreating it, because the only moment, Seth, through Jane Roberts, says your point of power is now. And that's how you connect to your higher self, is via the now moment, through your intuition. Let me give you an example. Something recently just happened. I was talking to a friend of mine, and she's in a relationship that she basically thinks she no longer wants to be in, right? So I was guiding her through that. I was just listening, being a good friend or whatever. And what happened was, we're talking on the phone, and then all of a sudden the phone goes dead. I was like, okay, what's happening, right? So immediately my physical mind starts chattering away, and I got worried. I got concerned, like, oh my God, is she okay? What happened to her? And so once I realized, I became aware that I was in that fear, I tapped into my intuition. I closed my eyes. I took a few deep breaths. Literally, I just took a pause, tapped into my heart, like I talked about last week, the Greg Braden technique, where you touch your heart, you take a few deep breaths. And what I did, this is what I said, because it was right before I was about to go to bed. I said an affirmation, and it went something like this. I said, when I awake, I will know what to do. Right? So right before that, I did text her, and I said, are you okay? And she said, yeah. And I felt just like this weird, funky energy. So that's what I did. I went in and I said, okay, when I awake, I'll know what to do. That process is from Florence Scovel Shinn. Anyway, so I was woken up at around 2:00 in the morning, thunderstorm crashing, which is kind of ironic symbolism. The thunderstorm is your negative thought patterns coming to get you, right? So I heard this voice right before I really, really opened my eyes, and it said, he was home. And I know exactly what that meant. All that meant was that her boyfriend was home, and she wanted to hang up the phone. And I found out later, because I went back to sleep, and I woke up in the morning, and she called me pretty early, and she said, oh my God, I'm so sorry. He was there, and I didn't want to get into another argument with him. So I just hung up the phone, and I'm like, totally get it. I understand. So the significance of this is that our point of power is now, and your inner being, your higher self, that unseen part of you, is always guiding you to your fulfillment. And in that moment that I was wearing, I became aware of that and let my higher self guide me instead of letting that ego, that voice of fear, guide me. And that's how you allow your higher self to manifest for you, through you. You don't try to fix yourself or change those negative thoughts. You just tap into that higher part of you, that unseen you, because that's where all your power is. Your power is not in the already manifested physical reality. When we define ourselves through the physical reality, that it's always changing. So that means it implies that we can be fulfilled and then not fulfilled. And Neville Goddard says it wonderfully. He says, you already are that which you would like to be. It's only your refusal to believe it that keeps it from you. And that's what he's talking about. He's not talking about you already are that specific manifestation. No, he knows that manifestations are temporary, that we're here to manifest, to play, right? To have that physical experience. Why? So to know ourselves as the higher self, not to judge ourselves via the physical world, right? What did Jesus say? Be in the world, not of it. That's what he meant. Don't judge yourself by the appearances of the physical world. Judge with righteous judgment with your heart. And your intuition is always connected to that higher you, which is connected to the God mind, the superconscious, always guiding you. And you can always tap into it. You just have to choose it. Just affirm it. Go to it, right? So understand that non-physical you is always present and is only ever fulfillment. So it will never steer you wrong. That's why it's so important to start to learn to cultivate your intuition. And a really good symbolism of this very thing, how your higher self is manifesting through you, through that physical you, is the story of Cinderella. I think we all pretty much know the story of Cinderella, right? Cinderella was enslaved really by her mean stepmom and mean stepsisters. The stepmom and the stepsisters represent those negative thoughts, judging ourselves via that negativity through the fear. And so we become enslaved by our own negativity, right? And the fairy princess, I can't remember, what was she? She was like a fairy, the fairy godmother. What was it that the fairy godmother represents the God mind, that higher mind, our intuition that's only showing us our fulfillment. And what did the fairy godmother do for Cinderella? Guided her to her prince. The glass slipper, she lost the slipper, which really represents the physical and non-physical world, the feeling of the slipper, but then they were, glass, they were unseen and seen at the same time. That's who you really are. And the prince, what does he represent? Your wish fulfilled. The prince is the kingdom. It is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Fear not, little flock. Little flock are the stepsister, the stepmother, the negative thought forms that are so tempting to listen to. But you know now how to stop listening to those. Just let them be there. Understand that that's the illusion. That's how we enslave ourselves. And how do we free ourselves? We listen to our fairy godmother, our intuition, our heart, and let that manifest for us, through us, to have a physical experience. And that's what we're here to awaken to. The more aware you become of the unseen you, that higher you, the more you disregard the physical appearances, because they're just all fleeting, temporary, they're old news. And you don't need to define yourself through any of that anymore. Define yourself through your higher you. And let that guide you to whatever you desire, to your prince, to your princess, to your, in other words, and to your wish fulfilled, like Neville says. Go to the end and stay in the end and let everything else just fall away. And that's how you let your higher self manifest for you and through you to everything you desire. Thank you so much for being here. I am truly grateful and thankful for you all. Please like and subscribe to the channel, comment below, share the video. That's how we get this message out there to more people, and shoot me an email, any questions or comments at amy@avlifecoaching.com. Thank you and have a wonderful day.